Hi, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with us. I'm Kat Shear, and this is a special presentation from Clydesdale Media. Before we get started, I'd like to remind everyone about our sponsors. RX Smart Gear provides world-class jump ropes, grips, and other gear for us all. Use the code Clydesdale15 for 15% off your order at rxsmartgear.com. Mobility Movement is a program that teaches you how to increase your capacity to heal, reduce recovery time, and restore your nervous system to peak health. Everyone gets a 7-day trial, and after that, our followers get their first month free when they use the code Clydesdale Free Month at mobilitymovement.com. And finally, C4 Energy, delivering the most effective, best tasting, and highest quality products. Get 20% off when you use the code Clydesdale at checkout at c4energy.com. And today on Meet the Athlete, we are chatting with Atlas Games semifinalist Ali Duckworth. Ali, how you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. It's great to meet you. I'm going to just pull up some information about you to get started. Let's go to your dashboard page on CrossFit Games website. Can you see that?
Yep.
All right, there you are. We need to get you a better profile, a better banner picture here. This is stock photo right there.
It is.
You are 25 years old. You are just 5'1", 135 pounds. So you are a tiny human.
That is correct. Yep.
Do you have a gymnastics background by any chance?
I do. Yeah, I did that pretty much through high school, and then I started doing CrossFit. So.
Yeah, you've got the right build for it. CrossFit train station. Where is that?
It's in Youngstown, Ohio. So I'm actually from Columbus, Ohio, but I go to school up in Youngstown. So it's like 2.5 hours north.
Got it. Okay. So, but all of my co-hosts are from Columbus, Ohio. We've got Scott Schweitzer. He works out at CrossFit Polaris.
Nice.
And then Amy and Charlie, they're at, I always get it wrong. I say it wrong. It's Shred CrossFit or CrossFit Shred.
Yep. That one's in Dublin. Yeah. So
Dublin.
I've been to Polaris a few times. Actually, my boyfriend works out there, but it was hard. Like I'm in school full time up in Youngstown, so I couldn't really go too much.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Okay. So let's talk about your career here. 2017, you went team at regionals, RIP regionals. 11th Element, was that an affiliate team?
Yeah, so that's in Hilliard, which is in Columbus. It's Graham Holmberg's gym.
Okay.
It's called CrossFit Hilliard. So yeah, I went there. I'm from Hilliard, which is like a suburb of Columbus. So I went there for a couple years, and then went to CrossFit Grandview.
That was back when they had 6-person teams, right?
Yes. Yeah, it was a 6-person team. It was my first experience. It was fun.
First experience, it was fun.
Yeah.
29th. Did they take 40 teams or 30 teams back then?
It was only 30, so it wasn't like our best experience. Kind of what happened was one of our athletes who qualified in with us, she had a wedding that she was in. She was like the maid of honor at her best friend's wedding, so she chose to do that weekend. And then we had a sub come in replacement, and she's very fit, but she also just had a baby like a month or two before, so it was like our only person that we could sub in. So we were just kind of doing what we could to get through the weekend.
And not last, right?
Not last, no.
Okay. See, sometimes that's the goal, right?
Yeah.
Not last.
Yep.
All right. And then we big jump into 2021, where you made an appearance with CrossFit Grandview at the West Coast Classic. Tell us a little bit about your training evolution from 2017 that got you all the way up to 2021 on a team that was qualifying.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess after 2018 is when I went to CrossFit Grandview. And then it was like after the regional season. And actually in 2019, it's not on there, but it was the one year that they changed the regionals to like the sanctionals. So we went to, it was a team of 4 of us. We went to the CrossFit Lowlands Throwdown in the Netherlands. So that was really fun. I would say we kind of went, so my boyfriend and I were at CrossFit Hilliard. That's where we met. And he's actually a very good competitor. In 2017, he won one of the open workouts. So we were just kind of looking for a different team. We kind of needed something new. So then we went to CrossFit Grandview, and they were looking for some other teammates. So we kind of just joined in. And then 2019, we did that. And then 2020 was kind of a super weird year for everyone. Sure. I wouldn't say I was training that much. I just graduated undergrad. So I was kind of just trying to figure out what I wanted to do for work, and work kind of got super busy. And then COVID kind of shut down all of the competitions anyway. So it kind of worked out for me. And then after that, I was like, okay, I'm feeling good again. Let's start training. And then we kind of did a round 2 with CrossFit Grandview. So,
okay. Yeah. What was the experience at West Coast Classic like? Because you'd never traveled to the Netherlands, but that West Coast experience, that Vegas experience was probably pretty unique.
Yeah, it was fun. I've been to Vegas before, but definitely different when you're actually like going there to compete. So
Sure.
yeah, it was fun. It was the elevation actually kind of was intense and like the heat.
Mhm.
You didn't notice the heat too much inside, but and I didn't know there was much of an elevation over there anyway. But
I didn't either until that competition when it became
yeah,
a thing that we talked about.
it was really hard to breathe. Like, and you would get through the workout, and it wasn't honestly until like there were a lot of them were faster workouts. So like the first one, it was just like thruster, rope climb, super fast, like 21, 15, 9, something like that.
Mhm.
And it wasn't until I was done where I was like, I couldn't breathe. It was like the weirdest feeling. Like it was different than the humidity in Ohio. So it's just so dry.
Yeah.
But it was fine. And then the hardest workout, I don't know if people have talked about it much, but it was like that 6K rep run.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
brutal.
oh, it was awful. I'm not like a big runner anyway, but like we survived it. And there was like a big controversy with it. They didn't brief it very well in like the briefing because they were like remaking all the workouts from not remaking, but they kind of just pick and choose from old regionals
Regionals.
and
Yep.
workouts, and I think they assumed we'd all finish the workout.
Yeah, it was the tie break that was weird,
Yeah, the
right? Like,
tie
if
break.
you
Yeah, so
didn't
like
if
only
you were
one
out and
team.
around.
Yeah, only one team finished it because I don't think they calculated like the running inside. So you went outside and did a couple loops, and then you had to go inside and like switch out your bag because it was like a weighted thing. And
Mhm.
then on the way in, like I think like my friend had her Apple Watch on. I think we finished the 6K, but like we weren't done yet because like I don't think they accounted for like all of the extra running. But we
Right.
actually passed a ton of teams like on our last lap, and I think we would have been like 6th or 7th in that workout. But then we get done and we're like, okay, where do we go? Like, so where we're at for placing. And they were like, oh, it was like the last lap. And we were like, what does that mean? And because they're each
Mhm.
a mile lap, so it was 4 miles. So basically where you finished or going out to your like the third, once you finish your third, whatever lap you finished last, if you didn't finish the workout, that was like the tie break. So it
Mm.
changed like the whole thing. It was kind of a
So you had a
bummer.
lot of people tying, and yet there was lots of separation.
Yes, yeah. So I mean, I
Yeah.
don't think we would have been like in a qualifying spot. Like we were close.
Mhm.
But like regardless, like I think we ended up getting like, I don't know, like 15th out of 20 on that one. We should have probably got like top 10. And it was just
Yeah.
like a
What is
bummer
that?
because we were like, we kind of paced it for, a 4 mile lap run, not like
Right.
a 3. And knowing like, and then there was teams like one of our other teams who actually, it was the CrossFit Decorum, the Ohio Brutes. One of their teammates, we've competed with him. He was on my team in the Netherlands. Corey, he was fine, but like his one teammate got like heat stroke during the workout.
Yeah.
So it was
Yeah.
just like we were running by and I was like, are you guys okay? And they were like, we're fine. I think Cece's just needs some water. So it was just a lot. There was actually a lot of teams that were from Ohio that were there, which was kind of funny. But
Yeah.
I
What
mean,
does that do to your mindset during a competition like that where you've got, you're stressed out, worried about friends,
mhm.
health and everything else, and then you get this sort of blow where you feel like you've kind of been wronged, in terms of your placement. How do you shut that off and just kind of move on?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely kind of frustrating. So
Yeah.
it was like probably the first 30 minutes, like it was us and a few other teams were all just like, hey, like what happened? Like we passed all these teams and we're gonna get like everyone was pretty frustrated. So we all like sent. I mean, all we could do was like you could submit like a
Sure. A
I'm trying to
dispute.
think of like yeah like hey, this is what we think we should do, and like this placing is wrong.
Hmm.
Um, and that's all we could do. And we were all kind of frustrated because it was kind of seeming like at that point, like nothing was going to go change. Like our coaches were going and talking to them and they were just like, well, this is the rules. But the rules weren't
Right.
briefed very well. And all I was just looking for was like a fair shot, which is fine. And then
Yeah.
the next event was actually just like the lift. It was just the clean and jerk. So me and my teammate, Julianne, we were both just pretty heated. So we were just like, okay, let's just channel that energy. We got a big lift.
Take it out on the barbell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, let's do good. And we both hit our PR. So it was really fun. I mean, that was a good moment. So it was not worth it because it really sucked. Like we're still triggered by it a little bit today.
Sounds like it. Just it's okay.
But no, we turned it around and made it a good thing and hit the lift so that we needed to hit. So that was good.
As long as you don't have any shrines in the back room with, lots of newspapers cut out and all that stuff, I think you're
Oh
okay.
no, we were just mad. I mean, we probably still talk. She would probably text me about it the other day. Like she was watching one of the semifinals and then I think it like turned back somehow, like she left the room and then somehow it got back to like the West Coast. And I don't even know. It was just like the live streaming of us running. Like she didn't put it on and she was like, she sent it to me. I was like, no, so bad.
That's so funny. Yeah, sometimes when I'm watching YouTube and then like I walk away for a while, it'll
Mhm.
automatically play something else,
Yes,
you know,
that
and
is
something
exactly
else
what
will come
happened.
up and I'm like,
Yeah.
well, wait, Julie Foucher's on the screen. What just happened? You know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was, I
I
mean,
love it.
it was fine. It was, I mean, it was a fun experience. One of our teammates, it was his first like CrossFit competition ever. So he did great.
Wow.
And then the other, I mean, Julianne, she's actually been to the CrossFit Games. They're all from Ohio, but she's back in 2012 and Scott, my boyfriend. So it was, I mean, we've all three competed together for a long time. So
Yeah.
it was fun.
What at what point did you make the conscious decision to move to individual?
Well, it was more of a,
Or were you forced to move in individual?
yeah, it was. So I'm in my doctorate of physical therapy program. So I graduate in December, and
Okay.
I just started my clinical rotations like May 1st or May 15th. And
Mhm.
I didn't. I mean, we could kind of do them wherever. And I'm up in Youngstown, but it was going to be hard because I didn't know where I was going to get placed or anything. So it was going to be hard to like commit to a team. So I was kind of like, well, I'll just compete individually with my gym up in Youngstown and just see what happens. Like it wasn't like okay, I mean, I was obviously doing the best that I can, but I wouldn't say like training like I'm out, I was just making the best of it. I was like, if I qualify, I qualify.
Sure.
If I
Right.
don't, but like team this year was um like Scott's not working at CrossFit Grandview anymore. We kind of stepped away from that and we just didn't, I mean, the timing was going to be so awkward. And my first rotation was actually, I got placed in Charlotte, North Carolina. So I
Oh,
couldn't
wow.
be, yeah. So I was like, I couldn't, which I'm super excited about. And it's going very well. It's very busy, but I really
Mhm.
like it. But I was like going to be impossible to try and figure out where I was going to be training and make a team at the same time, all the way back
Well,
in
and the
January.
rules make it really difficult too now with, you having
Yeah.
to be living within 100 miles and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
that
So
makes sense.
it was like, and there was, and up in Youngstown, like, I mean, I just coach up there, and it's a smaller town, so it wasn't like there was. I have some good friends up there, but I mean, it wouldn't
Okay.
have the team situation wouldn't have worked out really, and it was. And I was still kind of going back from Columbus because my boyfriend he lives in Columbus, so I'd drive back and forth. It was just kind of well, let's see if I make individual this year and plan for next year, whatever we do. So
Yeah. So when all was said and done and you see your placement in quarterfinals, were you were you just content to be like, okay, that's cool, didn't make it, like on to next year, focus on school, all that. Like take us through
yeah,
that whole evolution of from that to, oh, you're going to Atlas Games.
yeah, it was interesting. Like I actually did a couple of the workouts in Columbus at Polaris. I did one of them with Christy and they were like, "Oh, you're so close." Like the last workout,
Mhm.
you should be able to bump up. Like they were kind of thinking it would happen because I think I was still at like 140 or whatever, and then I didn't really move at all. So I was like, "Well, okay, I think it's fine." I was kind of frustrated because of that third. Like I was one of the people with like the third workout. I placed like 500th place
Uh-huh.
because a lot of people didn't do the shuttle runs right. I don't know if you like
Right.
gotten into that, like, which was fine.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
yeah, I'm not like I don't get super pressed on it. I can't really control any of it. I mean, it's
Sure.
frustrating, but it's like at the end of the day, like they're not going to do anything, so it's okay. Um, so that was probably the most, I mean, kind of frustrating thing. And I was like, I definitely like wanted to qualify, so I was like, I would check my email pretty much once a week or so, like every other day, and
Mhm.
kind of just see what happened because I knew I could get a backfill spot. If I was like 130th, like I was 140. So if I was in the 130th, I would have been a little bit more hopeful. But
Sure.
I kept checking. I kept checking. I got an email like a week or two after just saying like if you get I think everyone got it, but it's like if you got placed at a thing or a semifinal, do you have like a travel restriction? So I filled that out and was like,
Mhm.
okay, maybe something will happen. And then it was like a month went by. I didn't really hear anything. And then I had at that point I was just like, okay, not this year. I mean, I did the best that I could with what I have going on. We'll just figure out what I want to do for next year, whether we want to do team or try to go individual again. Like I would have been just like, okay, my first clinical rotation starting May 15th. Like I got to focus on that because that's like a whole
Yeah.
different thing. So it's like it was a lot of new stuff. So it wasn't like I was just like super disappointed. Like I'm like super excited to be going on my rotations and
Right. You've got
trying
lots of
to
things to be excited about. If that didn't pan
yeah.
out, it would be okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, okay. I mean, I was gonna make it work if I did qualify, but thinking back and then I was actually like I forget what I was doing. Um it was I was up in Youngstown. I don't know. My mom had come up for the weekend and we were driving back to Columbus, and I was just like checking and we had a fun weekend. We were just like chilling. It was her cousin's bridal shower. So we just had a fun day. And then I was driving back and I don't even know. I was just I just looked at my email. I was like, oh man, I got an invite to the Atlas games. And I was so random. I was like, Mom, like I just didn't even expect it. And I was like, what do I do? Because then I had just got my schedule for my clinical rotations as well. And I'm doing like four 10-hour shifts where I'm working some weekends. So it was kind of wild. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, let's see if I can make this work. And I reached out to my professors and my clinical instructor, and they were actually very understanding. So I just have to do a couple extra days later. But yeah, it was really weird. It was like a Sunday. I'm trying to think of what day it was. It was, I don't even remember, but it was really last minute, and that's fine. I feel like I do everything last minute anyway. So I just kind of expected it. I was like, all right, let's see if I can do it. And training's just been like, whatever I can get in. Like my boyfriend Scott programs for me, and it was good. Like I had a good 2 weeks before I started my rotations to kind of get some training in. And like, cause I also wasn't really working out. Like I would probably work out like 3 times a week, but I was just also a little burnout too. That's how it always happens for me. Like once I hit like the end of the season, I always need a couple weeks to a month off. So that's kind of where my head was at. And I was like, well, if I qualify, it's not like I'm not that out of shape. Like I still would do some training, but I was like, okay, got to get back into the mindset of training. So making the best of it.
Do you have like butterflies excited, or are you just kind of like, I'm not a rookie. Like, I mean, you are a rookie, but you're not, right? You've experienced this big stuff, but it's all you now. There are no people, to kind of rely on in the lane with you.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm a little nervous. Like I hadn't really watched much of the competitions because I've been so busy. But I was watching a little bit of Granite Games on the lift, and I was just like, I was just getting a little pit in my stomach. Like I'm excited, I'm nervous, I'm anxious. But it'll be fun. I haven't done like an individual competition since like 2018, but it was like a local competition. I've only done 2 of them. So, but I mean, I've done gymnastics for a really long time, and that's all you out there. So, I mean, I'll just do the best I can, and I'm excited. So
now does the result of what happens to you at Atlas Games, is that going to dictate sort of your path forward? Or do you think no matter what happens, you'll sort of go back to the team route?
yeah, I actually don't know. Like, I'm still kind of like undecided. My head right now is like, okay, I just need to get through Atlas Games and do the best that I can, and kind of that's where my mindset's at is focusing on that competition. And then, I mean, I've had like before, like knowing I was going to qualify, it was like, okay, Scott, my boyfriend and I, where can we go? Like I graduate in December, or early December. So it was like, okay, where can we move? Or if I get a job somewhere, like where could we also go that we could be on a team too? So, but also I mean, I don't know. I'm like, we'll see what happens really. Like yeah.
If you so think about all the camps that are out there right now. You've got CompTrain and Mayhem and Underdogs, Brute Strength, Training Think Tank. Like, do you have one in mind that you would be like, oh, that would be so cool to be a part of, X, Y, and Z sort of dynasty
Yeah,
empire?
I mean, I don't know. I've seen like a lot of the programs. It would be nice to actually like I would love to do one, but it's been hard like being a full-time student. So it's like I barely have enough money to like get through it. So I mean, I have friends actually that are probably in like I know people that kind of do each program. So I can't say one over the other at this point. But
is that something you guys would consider doing? Like if you were close to one of them?
Yeah, I mean, I would not consider it. Like I think training atmosphere is like a really big, and like where you're training and who you're training with is a big part of like how people perform, like, how to get better. And that's kind of where Scott and I have been just a little bit lacking. Cause I mean, I've been all over the place, and like just training environment for both of us has been, like, it's just kind of been us. And so it's just, I think finding
you need someone who are just as serious as you guys to sort of help bring the whole level up.
Yep. Yeah. So, I mean, wherever that is, I mean, we have connections places, so we haven't really like discussed where we would want to go. I mean, I don't know, but we definitely are looking for something a little different for next year, whether it's back in Columbus somewhere, Or if I like my last rotation's actually in Houston, Texas. So if we meet some people there, I mean, I don't know. Or if I meet people at the Atlas games, I'm never,
Right. Yeah.
yeah. So like I love doing the team competition. It's really fun. I've also never made it to I've never made it to individual. Like 2018, I was probably like 20 spots out from like when it was still old regionals where you had to get
Yep.
like in the thing. So I was like kind of bummed about that, but that was forever ago at this point. So, but still like teams like, okay, I'll go as a team. That sounds fun to me. So,
Yeah. Yeah. How are you going to do on that legless rope climb event?
we'll see. I think it's like the last event. Actually, legless
Yeah.
rope climbs are probably they're a big weakness of mine. I don't love them.
Okay.
So I finished it. So that's kind of where my mindset's at. I was like, if I can finish it when I'm tired and my grip is dead by the end of the workout, because there's a lot of other gymnastic stuff
Yeah.
that I'm excited about, and that'll be really fun. But I'm like, if my arms are okay, I should finish it.
Hmm.
I finished it before, so I'll try again.
Awesome. What kind of crew do you have traveling to Canada with you?
Actually, just Scott. That's my boyfriend, so he's also my coach too. So
Okay. So he'll get your +1.
yeah,
Planes, trains, automobiles. How are you getting there?
we're flying, and
Okay.
then probably just gonna. I think our hotel is probably like 10 minutes from like the venue, so I'll probably just Uber around there. But it's actually I'm in Charlotte right now. It's only like a 2-hour flight, so it's not bad.
Okay. Your nutrition on point? Have you prepared for what you're going to eat and how much you're going to have to eat and all that good stuff?
Yep, it's yeah. Well, there's like a meal service that I'll probably like that I
Great.
signed up for through like the Atlas game. So
Hmm.
and
Okay. So ultimate goal for the weekend.
honestly, just go out there and do the best that I can. Like we'll see what
Mhm.
happens. I'm just trying to put some stuff in perspective. Like okay, training's there. Like I'm doing the best that I can, but I wouldn't say like I can't also say I'm not balancing like this brand new thing with school.
Sure.
So it's just go out there. Like I can do all the movements. I'm pretty good at some of the like some of the workouts are going to be really fun. I'm looking
Hmm.
forward to them. Mine, like the Lego rope climb one's been in the back of my mind, like, oh gosh. But the rest I'm super excited about.
Good.
So wherever, I mean, it's hard to put like even when I did gymnastics, like I can't put like a placing like, oh, I want to win this event because you can't control what everyone else is doing out there.
Right.
It's just you. Um,
Is there
you can be
something that
regional.
maybe you've been working on that has been a hole or weakness for you that you're just going to be like really proud of yourself for hanging in there on, one of the events? It's not maybe not going to be your best placement, but like, hey, if I can, you know, not suck at this one, that's going to be a really good accomplishment for me.
Yeah, it's probably the legless rope climb workout. Like
Okay.
I
Fair
would
enough.
say
Yeah.
I try like doing 10 legless rope climbs for me like before like it's been something I've been working on for like a while. Like last year at the West Coast Classic there were legless rope climbs like for the team
Hmm.
event.
Yep.
But there was one girl had to do legless, one girl had to do the regular rope climbs. So
Hmm.
I had my teammate do the legless because I was like I'm not going to get through the 6 of those. Like I'm just going to stand there. So
Hmm.
so getting those like if I can get all 10 or like not fall down the rope or something like that, I'll be okay.
Awesome. And last question, what do you want people to be saying about you at the end of the competition? Like they've watched you compete all weekend, and they're back telling their friends like, "Hey, that Ali Duckworth, she's really blank."
Um, Probably just like she gave it her all out there. Like she, yeah, despite what's going on or like who else is out there, like she went and I don't know, she crushed it in her own way. Whether I actually crushed the workout or not, like she just did it. Like that, I think I'm just excited to go out there and like do something for myself for the first time. So just like seeing how I
Hmm.
do and like being proud of that. So
Yeah. Well, it's a great accomplishment, and we're very excited for you. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this with us, and we wish you the best of luck next weekend.
yeah, thank you so much for having me on. Have a nice day.
Yeah. Yeah, and stay
Bye.
in touch.